All right, let's get started. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jillian Griffith, and I am one of the Giant Nutritionists. Thank you for being here and joining us for another session of Nutrition at Noon. Today, we're going to talk about fueling up and powering down the foods that are going to be essential for helping us get through our workouts and making sure that we have a great recovery. But before we get started, I want to just share some housekeeping items, especially for those that this may be your first time joining us for Nutrition at Noon. I want to say first, welcome. We're so glad to have you. If you have any background noise or you may be multitasking during this lunch hour, no worries. Your mic is off and your camera is off. So you're here completely anonymously. However, if you do have any questions throughout this 15-minute presentation, you can go ahead and add them to the bottom in the Q&A box, and I'm going to leave a couple moments at the end to address any questions. All right, well, let's get started. So first, I want to say thank you to everyone that's been joining us over these past couple weeks in our Healthy at Home Giant Food Challenge. We've been really ramping up the workout challenge every week, and we've been getting a lot of questions on what are some foods that are going to help fuel us during our workouts and make sure that we're powering down the correct way. So that's what we're going to jump into today. But before we get in too deep about those specific foods that we may want to incorporate, let's talk about the nutrients that are in those foods and beverages so that we can make sure we're making smart decisions as we're in the grocery store. So let's jump into our macronutrients because those are going to be what's really essential to helping us fuel up for our workout. So first are those carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are essential for helping us to maintain our energy throughout the day, to helping us fuel and power through our workouts, and fighting back on that delay or helping us to fight against slowing down during our workouts. And then they're also essential for our recovery. Our carbohydrates are the gasoline for our brains and muscles. So they're really providing that energy for all the cells in our body, all of our muscles, and specifically our brains too. Our brain solely runs on carbohydrates or the glucose that carbohydrates break down into. Carbohydrates can get a bad reputation for themselves, and I'm going to get to that on the next slide, but we really want to make sure that we're getting adequate sources of carbohydrates because when we don't give our body carbs, our body turns towards our muscles for that energy and breaks down those muscles. So as we're building up our muscles, we want to make sure that we're getting those carbs in. Next is our protein. Now, proteins or the amino acids that make up our proteins are the building blocks of our body's muscles and tissues. So they're essential also for helping us get through our workouts and build up our muscle strength. We want to make sure that we're getting proteins throughout the day. That's really essential for us to not just load up right before or after our workout, but make sure we're getting protein sources and building up that storage throughout the day. And then lastly are our fats. And the fats are our storehouses for our vitamins and energy. So we want to make sure that we are keeping those storehouses full, and using fat is essential for helping us keep those storehouses full to help us maintain energy throughout our day and then power us through our workouts as well. So as I said, carbohydrates can get a really bad reputation for themselves because they break down into their simplest form of sugar or glucose. But as I mentioned, glucose is essential energy for all of our body cells. Our body runs on glucose, and our brain solely runs on glucose. So we want to make sure that we're getting carbohydrates, but the right types of carbs. Now, typically as nutritionists, we recommend eating those whole grains or getting those high fiber carbs because they're slow acting. They help maintain our energy throughout the day. So these are going to be your whole grains like oatmeal, whole wheat breads, brown rice, fruits, and veggies. We want to make sure that we're getting adequate amounts of these throughout our day. But when it comes to our workouts, we may want to lean towards those fast-acting carbohydrates or fast-acting energy sources to help fuel us before a workout. And so we're going to talk about those now. So before a workout, we want to make sure we're fueling up 30 to 60 minutes with quick energy foods. So that's going to be your fruits, like grabbing a banana or maybe an applesauce. Your grain sources may be a quick grain like a pretzel, but we want to go for those quick energy foods. We also want to focus on our fluid intake all day long. So not just around our workout time. So making sure that we're getting fluids an hour before a workout, but then also up to 15 to 20 minutes before a workout. So getting fluids throughout the day, making sure that we're staying hydrated with water. And then we want to cut back on those fast foods or convenience foods and those sweet treats. Because while they do give us energy, because they contain a lot of sugar, they're going to give us some things that are going to slow us down, like the sodium or the saturated fat. So we want to make sure that we're getting great sources of carbohydrates, great sources of energy before a workout, as well as throughout our day to keep us energized. So now, as we're shopping for fuel, we may want to incorporate things like dried fruits, or I said applesauce, to give us that quick source of energy. These Go-Go Squeeze applesauces are not only for our kids, they're great to put in your gym bag to give you a quick burst of energy, maybe 30 minutes before your workout. Hand fruit like bananas are a great source of energy before a workout, as I mentioned, pretzels. So all of these things can be stored in your gym bag or ready to eat as you're doing a home workout. Granola bars are also a great source of energy, as well as your sports drinks, because they're going to provide you that quick source of sugar prior to a workout. Here's a little recipe inspiration for some quick fuel. We, as the nutritionist team, love energy bites. I love them specifically. I talked about them in a past webinar, and I'm bringing them up again because they're such a great source of energy, not only to power through a workout, but just energy throughout the day. So take a screenshot of this screen for you to get the ingredients for these energy bites. They are super easy to make. You just throw all the ingredients into a bowl, mix it up, form your balls, and you can put them in the refrigerator to kind of form and harden, and they're great snacks throughout the week. So make sure you get a screenshot. They have oatmeal in them. You can do mini chocolate chips. You can put other dried fruit in them and make them your own. Okay, so we talked about fueling up before a workout. Now we're going to talk about during a workout. And a lot of times the question of hydration comes up as we're powering through our workout. So here's a rule of thumb. If you're exercising less than 1 hour, go for water. You don't need the extra sugar or even the electrolytes that are in a lot of these sports beverages or fitness beverages if you're exercising less than 1 hour, because your body provides you everything that you need to power through that workout. That energy storage that we talked about, all of that is readily available for you, and your body's going to provide it for you. Now, if you're exercising more than 1 hour, you may want to consider hydrating with a sports drink, but be mindful of that nutrition facts label and how much carbohydrates and sugar. So we want to aim for 15 grams of carbs per 8 ounce and drink every 15 to 20 minutes. So if you see on this nutrition facts panel on the screen, per 8 ounces, you'll get total carbohydrates 14 grams. However, there are 4 serving sizes in this whole beverage. So we only want to do 8 ounces, so not that whole Gatorade, just about a quarter of the Gatorade will keep us hydrated for our workout if more than an hour. And then rule of thumb, drink before you feel thirsty. Once you feel thirsty, that means that your body's dehydrated. So continue to maintain your hydration throughout the day, prior to a workout, throughout the workout, and post-workout. And don't wait until your body tells you that it needs that hydration. All right, so now that we've talked about gearing up to power through our workout, we've now powered through our workout and stayed hydrated, let's talk about powering down. And for powering down, we want to remember the 3 R's: refuel, repair, and rehydrate. So refueling our energy, that's going to really be our carbohydrates. And now is where we want to incorporate those long-lasting carbohydrates that are full of fiber, that are going to give us energy, long-lasting energy throughout the rest of our day. We want to repair our muscles with protein, and really this pairing carbohydrate and protein together is going to really help build up our glycogen storage, which is going to help us maintain energy throughout the rest of our day. And then we want to make sure that we are rehydrating for any fluid loss. So getting in that water, incorporating a sports beverage that has those electrolytes in it, but is not too high in sugar. So here's a question that comes up a lot on recovery drinks. Recovery drinks have really gained a lot of attention as a post-workout option. So what's the big deal with recovery drinks? Well, you don't have to purchase a recovery drink. Really, anything you take post-workout to help speed up your body's ability to recover is great as a recovery drink. You can buy one off the shelf or you can make one yourself. Really, you just want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it has a source of high quality protein, whether that's whey protein or protein from nuts and seeds or protein from dairy. You want to make sure that it has a great source of protein as well as carbohydrate. So here's another opportunity for you to take a screenshot of this recovery smoothie recipe, which includes tart cherry juice, which actually helps with inflammation post-workout, Greek yogurt, a great source of protein, as well as great source of fat and carbohydrates. And then berries, which are going to give you an antioxidant burst, or a banana, which is going to help add to your fiber. So take a screenshot. This is a quick and easy recovery smoothie that you can make at home. Okay, but now if we want to shop for recovery, here are some great post-workout ideas for you to either have in your gym bag or have in your fridge for you to grab as soon as your workout's over. Really, we want to make sure that we are consuming our post-recovery snack, beverage, or meal within 30 to 60 minutes after your workout to really get the recovery benefit. So whether that's a trail mix, which is going to be a great source of protein as well as fiber, grabbing these Fairlife chocolate milks. They're really a great source of protein and healthy fats and carbohydrates. So these are a really fun and delicious way to refuel as well as rehydrate after a workout. Or it could just be a protein bar, which is going to give you a great source of whole grains, great source of fiber, great source of protein. So any of these are really quick and easy ways for you to refuel after a workout. And the carb and protein combination helps, as I said, optimize that glycogen resynthesis and protein repair. Okay, so I'm not going to let you all leave without giving you an update on our challenge. So we are now in week 4. And if you didn't tune in to yesterday's Nutrition at Noon, here's a reminder of what the week 4 challenge is. This week for our food side, we want to go meatless for at least one meal every day. And then for our fitness side, we're going to do a step challenge. So encouraging your family members or maybe your work team or your neighbors to count your steps and make sure you're staying moving throughout the day. And remember to show us how you are going meatless for one meal a day or doing your step challenge by tagging us online at Giant Food and then using the hashtag Giant Food Challenge and Healthy at Home. Here are some snapshots of how you all were staying active and healthy at home last week. So we have a post from Nutrifina, we have a post from Diva Riggs. So be sure to share with us so that we can feature you in next week's Nutrition at Noon. And as always, before I get to the questions, I just want to make sure that you are aware of how all the resources that we have to provide to you. So my entire team, we're all offering individual consultations virtually right now. So be sure to reach out to us. We have tons of online classes going right now. We have our Nutrition at Noon. So I hope you join us tomorrow for Nutrition at Noon. It's every weekday at 12 p.m. In between the Nutrition at Noon or in between classes, be sure to check out our podcast as well as our online blog. All right, so now I'm going to see if there's any questions. Okay, so it says, I'm dieting as well as working out more. I understand eating after workout, but I get concerned how to stay within my diet and adding appropriate after workout snacks. So as I said, after your workout, you do want to make sure that you are incorporating a snack that's a great source of carbohydrates as well as protein. Those are going to be the two key ingredients that you want in whatever post-workout snack you choose. And that's really snacking in general. Whenever you're snacking, you want a great high fiber carbohydrate and great protein pairing. So whether that's, grabbing a combination of fruits and maybe nuts or seeds, or a bar that has a great source of carbohydrates as well as protein, that's gonna be a great post-workout snack. And that looks like all the questions I have today. Again, my name is Jillian, and thank you all for joining us for today's Nutrition at Noon. If you do have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at nutrition@giantfood.com.